Thanks, Craig.
Hey, it's Karrington, and we're back. We're in business once again. My name's Karrington with Real Dudes Podcast, an indie gaming podcast. And tonight, with me, I have the one, the only, Jordan.
Oh, man, I was really hoping you were going to introduce your other guest in that fashion, but I'll take it. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. And next, we have a longtime listener. He's been on the show quite a few times. You know him. You love him. It's the one, the only, Phil.
Thanks for having me back, guys.
Okay, I like that intro more.
Yeah, Phil the chef. How have you been?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you guys?
Fantastic. And how's the restaurant business treating you these days, Phil?
Restaurant business is restaurant business. Business is up. People will always eat. We'll be open for a while.
Hopefully.
You know, unless that entire other thing happens.
Right.
People die.
We won't talk about that. Yeah, that thing.
And then nobody will be open.
You are not lying, good sir.
Why would he be lying?
Anyway, moving on.
Okay.
Before we get started today, do not forget to follow us on the good old Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Real Dudes Podcast. You can always send us messages through Anchor, which is our lovely podcasting host. We will listen to your messages here on the show, answer any questions, comments, concerns, yada, yada, yada. Now that that's out of the way, let's just jump into it.
Wow. Okay, stealing other YouTubers' catchphrases. Cool.
I
That's
am.
what we're all about here.
So today, children, we will be talking about Children of Morta.
Oh, okay. I thought you were calling us children.
Yeah, I was
you're only
about
like 8 years older than me.
I was going to raise the concern about, my age compared to yours.
Well, you are older than me, Phil, but
That's
you're
what
younger
I'm
than my father.
Thankfully.
So, Children of Morta is a story-driven action RPG game about an extraordinary family of heroes, led by the Bergsons with all their flaws and virtues against the forthcoming corruption. That is the exact sales pitch from places like Steam and the eShop and Xbox and yada, yada, yada. Developed by Dead Mage and the wonderful publishers 11-Bit Studios. You can buy it on all platforms, the Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and through Steam, it's available for Windows, Linux, and Macintosh. So you literally have zero excuse to not play this game. Fellas,
Especially when it's on Game Pass.
oh yeah, for sure. Can I just say, before we get into this, Game Pass is a wonderful gift from Microsoft. Like, it is an insane deal. Like, no, I'm not joking, not kidding, not doing any meme. Game Pass is a great deal. If you have an Xbox or even a PC out there, there's so many great games on there. And Children of Morta is on Game Pass.
But you know what else is on Game Pass? Sea of Thieves, and I've been playing that. I just want to throw that in there because
Another great game. But we're not here to talk about Sea of Thieves. We're here to talk Children of Morta.
Fair. I might talk about Sea of Thieves later, though.
Guys,
I would also like to fully disclose if I accidentally call this Children of Moira, it's not my fault.
Children of Mordor?
No, Moira, just too much Overwatch in my life.
Oh, well, I've been watching too many of some Lord of the Rings movies, so.
Yeah.
So, who got the chance to play Children of Morta besides myself?
I did.
See, I just heard Children of Mordor. I have
So
not
Jordan,
played this game, but I'm glad to be here.
You can be the voice of our listeners here when it comes to Children.
Well, Karrington, please tell me about Children of Morta. Other than the one sentence pitch you just threw at me.
So, Children of Morta, it's a roguelike game, which I will say, not usually my forte. I enjoy roguelike games, but I'm not good at them. That's the problem.
That's because you're bad at stealth.
Yeah.
Can we say it's semi-roguelike? Because you don't restart every time you die.
This is true. And I love the system that's set in place. Like, it gives you a reason why, when you do die, why you do reset. You know, basically the grandmother of the family, she shows the family like, hey, we're protecting this crystal thing, and the crystal has the power to bring the family back to life every time you die.
Isn't it just kind of pulling them out?
That's not the impression I got, but you have played the beginning more recently than I have.
Yeah, but I also have a worse memory than you, so we'll go with yours.
Okay. So either it pulls them out or it brings them back to life. So yeah, ever since we dropped our last episode, not the Sonic episode, but our last full episode, I've been playing Children of Morta. So there's this corruption that's taking over the area, as we already brought out, but there's 3 areas to each to the level or to the game. And when I first started, I'm like, 3 areas. This will be easy. Little did I know, this game's not easy.
Nope.
Would you agree, Phil?
Not at all.
I mean, my immediate assumption for games that give you the option, or not the option, but like one of the features is you can respawn all the time, which means you're going to be dying a lot. There are plenty of games that do that, and all of them are hard.
It's definitely a thing in this game.
And what I like, because when the game first starts out and it's kind of introducing you to the game, you have he's the father character. And he's like, oh no, there's monsters appearing in the land and stuff. But when you're going through that, I never died during that portion. I'm like, oh, this game is easy. What are they talking about? Roguelike, I got this.
Yep.
So you thought the same thing, Phil?
Oh, exactly. I think I even messaged you, like, once I got into the first portion of the game, I'm like, why aren't they dropping health potions like they did in the first part?
Yep. I was thinking the exact same thing, because during that tutorial, potions are dropping literally left and right. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm never going to die if this is the normal thing. But then you enter the first actual area of the game, and yeah.
And then you die.
A lot. And Phil, you actually used more than one character, because I stuck with the father figure, which he just fits my style, because he was like the warrior type character.
Yeah, at this point in the game, I've actually played with every character that's available and gotten them all to at least level 5.
Nice.
And they all feel very different styles of play, different attributes that come with them, different things that they unlock as far as their perks go and things of that nature. But some of them, it's always nice too, because whenever you hit the next level, you or not the next level, but every 5 levels, you get a perk that carries over towards every other family member. Almost think of like basically playing D&D or Diablo with every class available to you at the exact same, not at the exact same time, but you can switch between them when you go back and make your next run. But then it all kind of semi carries over and levels them all up. It's a pretty slick system that they've got going for them.
I agree, because when you are dying so often, it's my problem with roguelike games in general, because a lot of times you start from the beginning, you have nothing, and every time you die, you lose everything, and it's very demoralizing and doesn't motivate you to keep playing. But Children of Morta, because of the RPG system that's built into the game, all that stuff, all your like stats and everything that you've leveled up, all that stuff carries over, which is awesome, because it makes each time you enter an area maybe you're stuck in, it makes it just a tad bit easier. And every time you die, it's just like, I can do better if only I had this one thing. And you go back to your house, and then you can get upgrades or level your guy up or whatever, and then boom, you see the progress as each death as you progress through the game.
And it kind of seems to feed, you said you haven't really ventured outside of the father character. But it seems to kind of feed the items that you get that attach to you. You almost get ones that are more so based towards the character you're playing as, to like give that style of a character an advantage throughout your playthrough, which of course you lose as soon as you die. But it definitely significantly helps the character that you're playing with at that exact moment.
Yes, I agree. And I do like I think that, were they called omens or something like that?
I don't remember what they're called. I think they're called omens, or yeah, let's go with omens, even if they're not.
Okay. There's these like
items.
I don't know. There's items.
Perks?
Perks. That's better. Perks. They're perks that you can find, and everything's randomized. And so you might find a particular perk that'll help you keep your health up. And then the next time you die, you won't be able to find that, but maybe you'll find speed. And I found those to be very helpful when going through a level over and over and over again.
Well, and that's not even touching the past or the active ones where you actually have to hit like right bumper or right trigger or whatever to use them as well. That'll give you boosts and other advantages, missiles and stuff like that you can shoot out.
Yeah, each character, not only does their playstyle different, because like I said, the father is like the warrior, the eldest daughter, she's like the archer. So each person not only has different weapons, but they also have different abilities. So the dad, I know he brought down a rain of swords. That was one of his like starter abilities that he had, which was very helpful at the beginning of that first level, which is a cave and there's spiders everywhere, basically.
I found that ability to be very helpful throughout the course. He's probably my most played as character. The one that plays with the bow might be my second most played character once I figured out that you can actually move and shoot at the same time with the right thumbstick.
Mm-hmm.
But her abilities are also super cool. Then there's the one that's got like the dual blades type of assassin-y type of character.
Mm-hmm.
And you got one that shoots fire, so kind of a wizard. And then you got a big old tank that swings a hammer. It's the selection of characters is pretty amazing in this game. And
at first, when you first start the game, you first pick up the eldest daughter. She's with you. She's as you're controlling the dad, she's like killing monsters and stuff with you, which I thought that was going to be part of the game.
I did too.
And I was a little disappointed that wasn't part of like the actual game. It was just part of that intro.
Agreed.
But fear not, if you have friends, you and up to 3 other of your friends can play co-op, which I never got to test out or play, unfortunately.
Well, you can roll 4 deep in it?
Here.
Yeah, you can roll 4 deep.
That's the bad part, Jordan. I think it's only couch co-op.
Yeah, it's only local co-op.
Well, then today's video is sponsored by that one company that can do the online multiplayer co-op that I can't think of right now. Online multiplayer co-op service. Google Parsec. You know, this bit's gone too long. I'm sorry.
But I will say one thing that does help. I'm in the program for Xbox streaming on my phone, and Children of Morta was part of the latest batch of games that you can play on it. So I should have done that when I was at your house this past weekend, Jordan. Threw up my phone and we could have played Children of Morta together.
See, this is why I don't have dumb friends. I'm kidding.
Yeah, you're good. If there was a negative to this game, that'd probably be on my list for sure. Just because I hardly have people over to play games anymore. It's all online, which is why Phil the Chef is here now.
Oh, now I have to go.
100% agreed.
But with it being on the Switch, I mean that does help a lot. Did not play the Switch version, played the Xbox and PC version. But I mean that the Switch does help a lot and would help in that situation just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. For the portability factor of being able to take it over to somebody's house and jam away.
You got 2 controllers right there. It's like in the commercial where they're on the roof and they're
Exactly.
playing Mario Kart.
Yeah.
You know, whenever I get sassy, I get a New York accent. Hey, watch it. I'm playing Mario Kart here.
I will say, unfortunately, I did not get the chance to actually finish the game because I'm not good at roguelike games. However,
IGN reviewer over here.
I'm just making it known, I am in the 3rd area, which is insanely hard, but the game itself is incredibly fun and it does have a nice story to it. The game itself does make you care about the family itself because they have a son who wants to fight, but his mom says no because he's too young. Like I cared about him in a way because I'm like, man, I want him to fight. Just make him feel like he's doing something,
One other thing that I really appreciated too is every time you die, well, almost every time you die until you've died too many times in an area. Not that I'm speaking from experience, but if I was, it'll advance the story a little bit further each time.
Yeah, all the NPC, all the other family members are around the house, and they all have updates. There's like a little bubble above them when they have something they want to express or talk about. And as you even progress through the game, I mean, the house itself opens up to more and more stuff. Because I remember I tried to access certain parts of the house before I was supposed to, which it is still open. It just doesn't explain it to you. It's just kind of like, oh, you're not ready for this yet. So the game does slowly open up different concepts to the game very slowly, but in a very at a pace where it's you retain the information that the game's teaching you, which is nice.
That and the fact that there's so many secrets tucked away in, I believe the phrase is procedurally generated levels that reset every time and it's not the same. And you'll like go to it and all of a sudden there's this area that was there and you'll run into a merchant or something that wasn't there the first 6 times that you died in that level, or traveling caravan of some sort. And you're just like, okay, you got some stuff going on.
I thought that was really cool too, because like you said, you die so many times. And there was one time where I fought a mini boss, and I ended up freeing a merchant, which I thought was the boss when I was first going through the first level. I'm like, oh, this is the boss. That was easy. And then it was just some merchant, and because I freed him, he gave me a good deal. And next time I saw him, he would help me out on my journey and stuff. But
yeah, there's a lot of that kind of stuff tucked away.
Mm-hmm. And which makes the game. It makes you just want to play more like, oh, what else is around the corner if I keep playing? It wraps you in and it makes you want to keep playing, which is great.
I started it yesterday, and I've had a tough time setting it down.
Were you able to beat the first boss yet within that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I'm on the second world now. Or the second, I don't know, we'll call it area.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Zone.
I would also like to say, Karrington, that I beat that first boss on my first attempt.
Really? I did not. It took me 3rd or 4th try.
Yeah, I was pretty stoked about it.
Still, bro.
Giant spider. Because my problem with the spider was the fact that it kept shooting out a web and it kept slowing me down, and then its babies would come out and get me. So that was where I kept getting tripped up.
No pun intended.
Yeah, no pun intended. Or maybe pun intended. I don't know how to decide yet. We'll see where the night goes.
Yeah.
So, Phil, in your roughly 24 hours of playing it, what kind of score would you give it at this point in time?
I'm gonna be completely something here.
Okay.
I did not like the game at first. It drove me nuts. I couldn't.
I remember you telling me that.
Annoyed the heck out of me. I've come around on it greatly, and right now my biggest complaint about the entire game is just the fact there's no online co-op multiplayer. I'm sitting at a rock solid 8.75 on it.
Nice. Now, I will say before I give my score, what made you change your mind? Because you said you didn't like it at first. What kind of turned that switch on for you, so to speak?
I just kind of got a feel for the flow of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like at first it was just frustrating because I kept dying and kept dying and kept dying. But then as I kept upgrading all my stuff back at the house, every time that I died, I'd get a little bit stronger and stronger. And then like I started discovering that there's all these secrets and all these tie-ins, and just I figured out the way that the game works, and it just gelled much better for me. And I liked the story from the get-go. The graphics were kind of a turnoff at first, but they kind of grew on me as well. Being the old person that I am, you'd think that style of graphic speaks to me, but I got over that style of graphic when I was 9 years old.
I hear you, because it's got that top-down 16-bit kind of art style to it, which seems to be very common with a lot of indie games right now. And I have to agree on that. At first, I was kind of like, I don't know about this when I first started up the game. But then as I went on, I'm like, actually, the art style really works really well for this game. And it doesn't seem like a gimmick or anything. They went all out for it, and it looks gorgeous.
Agreed. It grows on me, or it grew on me. As my girlfriend was watching me play it, there was a game on mobile devices a couple of years ago. It's probably still around, called Tiny Death Star. And she looked at it and she goes, "This looks exactly like Tiny Death Star. Is that what you're playing?" And I was like, "No, this is nothing like that."
No, not even close. So for me, the story is really good once you get into it, and it really captures you, and it makes you care about all the characters, which is the most important part, because it really is about family and bringing them together and solving this issue, this problem. If roguelikes aren't your game, I would still pick this up, because I would put this in the camp of like Dead Cells, which it's just one of those games you just don't put down, even if you don't like rogue-like games, because I feel like it's light on the rogue stuff and more heavier on other aspects that makes you want to keep playing. And so I would have to give it an 8.75 as well.
Yeah, it's a roguelike Diablo, basically, is what it is.
So with that, I hope you enjoy these ads, and I got a surprise coming up next. Stay tuned.